the last song that I have for this word is Lions, Tigers, and Bears by Jasmine Sullivan. So it says, I'm not scared of lions and tigers and bears, oh my, but I'm scared of loving you. I'm not scared to perform at a sold out affair, that's right, but I'm scared of loving you. So even with that, like, um, it has been fear. You know, fear has been definitely afflicting them. And so, you know, just wanting to be praying a bit against fear. But even when it says, like, I'm not scared to perform at a sold out affair, they might be, um, they might be a musician. Or they might be in a space where, you know, they're performing in some sort of way. Um, and even if it's not performing, they might just have a lot of influence, or they just might be a very like popular character, like having a lot of charisma and things like that. So they're not afraid to like be center stage um and be in front of a lot of people, but when it comes to loving you, they're scared. So then it says, am I the only one who thinks it's an impossible task? Why it don't last? Is that too much to ask? Why do we love when love seems to hate us? Sorry if I sound so filled with gloom. You say you care, and I know you do, but this is from my experience, and my conclusion only makes sense. So yeah, you have expressed your love for them. You have expressed that you care about them. And they know that because you have not only shown it, you have not only expressed it in your words, but you've shown it through your actions as well. You've shown it through your prayers and your encouragement and your support and your love for them. But from their experience, um, they just have a negative view on love. It says when love seems to hate us. So they just don't have the right perspective. And God has to heal them from that, you know. And there's nothing, I mean, you can, you know, pray for them and believe in faith, but, you know, for their experience and perception of that to change, you know, they have to receive that revelation and that truth, and that has to be like God revealing it to them. Um, and so it says, and my conclusion only makes sense. So like again, like they're believing lies and they're kind of jumping to conclusions. Um, but it says this is from my experience. So like, you know, you know how like experiences can shape beliefs. So like they have they haven't had the best experiences with love, and so it has kind of shaped certain beliefs that they have, and so those beliefs have influenced their behaviors. And so it says, just because I love you and you love me, it doesn't mean that we're meant to be. I can climb mountains, swim across the seas, but the most frightening thing is you and me, yeah. So yeah, they have been really like trying to forge their own path, you know, like climbing the mountain, swimming across the sea. They just been trying to get as far away from you as possible. Um, the most frightening thing is you and me. Yeah, I'm not scared of lions and tigers and bears. No, I'm not, but I'm scared of, hey, loving you. I'm not scared to perform at a sold out affair, that's right, but I'm scared of loving you. Am I the only one who thinks it's an impossible task? Ooh, ooh. So the enemy is lying to them and making them believe that it's not possible, that there's no way that, you know, even after all of this, that you would still, you know, consider them and actually still love them and want them and things like that. Um, Skipping a little bit, it says, most circumstances, I know my fate, but this love thing, I don't get the game. Why does it feel like those who give in, they only wind up losing a friend? Just because I love you and you love me, it doesn't mean that we'll ever be. So again, like they're afraid of losing you. And so they may have tried to like friend zone you or keep you at this distance because they don't want to lose you. And you have been, you know, a friend to them. So they just they just don't want to lose you, you know. And it reminds me of the Lord was showing me kind of like the situation with Leonardo DiCaprio and I'm forgetting her name right now, but basically they both loved each other and they've known each other for years, and they've had a very close relationship, but they were never ever they just stayed friends, and they never committed to being more than friends. And they met when they were like teenagers, and now they're like in their they're like middle age now. And there was this interview where he was just saying like he regretted like not he loved her, but he regretted like not committing to her because she was always there for him, and he was just like, I don't want to ruin what we have, and that's why he didn't commit to her. But for him, it was still painful that he was never able to make that commitment, because she had ended up getting married and divorced, and having kids, and like he was supporting the kids and everything. Like they called him Uncle Leo and stuff, but they never ended up tying the knot together. And because of fear of ruining the friendship. And I was just kind of telling God, like, I don't want that for myself. Like, I don't want to be 50 years old and friends with someone, and they are just too scared to commit to me. Like, God doesn't want that, because covenant is you choosing to love this person unconditionally for the rest of your life. And you don't like perfect love casts out fear. And when you really have faith in God and you're trusting in him, like, you don't have to be afraid to commit to this person. And so that's why God has to really address and deal with them and work on them, and show them the truth about not being afraid to step into love. And so, fly across the ocean, sing for the queen, but the most frightening thing is you and me. Oh, I'm not scared of lions, tigers, and bears, but I'm scared of loving you. And so it repeats again. Why do we love when love seems to hate us? I'm not sure. I'm not sure though. No, I'm not sure. So, yeah, like even with that, when love seems to hate us, it's like, even with the journey, like there's been a lot of warfare. And so it's just been like, even with that, like they've been discouraged as well because of just all the warfare and all the things trying to keep you apart, just the enemy and everything like that. Then it says, but if we never try, we'll never know. It's better to have loved than not to love at all. Not trying is worse than to stumble and fall. And if we do, I'd rather it be with you, 'cause at least there will be sweet memories. And the Lord has also been highlighting sweet, and just like, yeah, like sweet, that's also been highlighted. So it says, oh, I'm not scared. Oh, I'm not scared of lions and tigers and bears. No, I'm not. But I'm scared of loving you. I'm not, so yeah, I'm not scared to perform at a sold out affair, but I'm scared of loving you. Am I the only one who thinks it's an impossible task? Why don't it last? Is that too much to ask? Why do we love when love seems to hate us? So yeah, there's this change where, they're like, if we try, even if we stumble and fall, I'd rather it be with you, because at least there'll be sweet memories. So they have sweet memories with you, and they would want to make more memories with you. And it says it's better to have loved than not to have loved at all. And if we never try, we'll never know. So they want another chance. They want to really like dive in. But it's very scary for them. So again, like, pray for them and be gentle with them, be kind to them, be open and warm, because this is taking a lot out of them. This is not easy. And God is, going to guide them forward. But, you being able to be that, you know, just being there for them, and not giving them a hard time, being easy on them, and just being friendly, and just just receiving them. Another movie that Lord led me to was called I think it's called Cinderella Story: A Christmas Wish or something like that. But the Lord led me to watch that movie like probably about 2 years ago, and um and then he was like, I want you to watch a movie this week, I'll show you what it is. And it was that movie, and I was like, wait, I already saw this movie. But the Lord was really speaking through it, and again, with it being Christmas, like, Lord is doing it in this season. Um and um and so with the girl, she was kind of like representing Cinderella, and she was, the Cinderella story. So like, she had the step mother and the stepsisters treating her poorly, and basically in this movie she was kind of known as the girl. Basically the stepsisters humiliated her and posted it online, but he was the one that, helped her up and things like that, because she basically fell and spilled coffee all over herself, and he like helped her up, and he saw her for who she truly was, and no one else really did. But he had friends that were not, they were not supportive of, him and her together. They were in the background kind of like making fun and making jokes and teasing and things like that. He wanted to introduce her to his friends, but it didn't go well at all. And they ended up having like this argument, and there was a separation period. And so even with that, like, they might have, like, your spouse might have friends around them that are not the best for them, or they might not be supportive of your connection. They might not even be supportive of you. They might not see you as being worthy of them. Um, so yeah. Um, or they can be speaking in your spouse's ear, saying things about you. So that was just something else that the Lord was highlighting to me. And then also, like, if you're in a situation where you're going through like warfare from family, because it was like the mother and the stepsister, she went through so much. Like, there was so much like manipulation and betrayal, and just being very just mean, and yeah, just heartless, honestly. So if you're going through anything like that, and it may not be that harsh or that severe, but even if it's like anything of just like, you know, when it comes to like your dreams and the things that you're believing God for, um, and they're just not supporting you, them speaking death over it, them, just speaking word curses essentially. The Lord is saying, be still, because He is going to vindicate you. And the Lord was had me reading in the book of Ruth, not Ruth, with the story of Leah and Rachel. And basically, the Lord was saying that He's going to vindicate and restore you for your humiliation and being unloved. So in the home that in the movie, in the home she was in, she didn't have really love in the home at all. All she had was her dog. Um, and I feel like the dog kind of symbolized just like an angel, um, because the dog was just there with her, and was helping her in a sense too. So even when you're in these situations where you're experiencing a lot of this, I guess, resistance, like, just know that you're not alone. But she didn't there was really no love in the home. And so she had to kind of just hold it together the best she could, but it was really challenging for her. And so in the story with Leah, Leah was she became Jacob's wife, but Jacob loved Rachel. So she experienced like, oh, if I have kids with him, then maybe he'll love me. And she had all these kids, and it was just her just wanting that love. But then, when she had Judah, she said, I'll praise the Lord. And just knowing that, like, even at some points when Leah was having kids, like, Rachel wasn't having any.